How to keep an open heart in hell. This morning I was standing in my garden before sunrise with a little dove, but he was injured by my son's cat and he was dying. So I could feel his heart beating in my hands. He was perfect. After I went into the house a little bit later, I stroked the cat and told her how much I loved her. This is a small example of the duality of life and of the nature of love. And it tells us something about consciousness and love. So over the past few days, every time when I wanted to travel, when I wanted to receive messages for you, I was brought back to the third dimension. So this morning, the message became clear to me. As we are here on earth having this human experience, we can't ignore the third dimension. We can't ignore the material world, and that is not the purpose of us being here. We are here on a journey in which we will remember more of ourselves. But when I talk about ourselves, it is not our identity. It is not what we are presenting as here in this dimension. We are here to expand as we discover more parts of ourselves. We are here to remember, to truly remember that we are all one and that the one is many. That sounds very easy if we are in an environment where we are sheltered and loved. But when we experience suffering and when we look to the outside and observe, and we see the bird killed, and we see the child raped, and we see lives destroyed, we can feel immense pain if we have not yet reached the consciousness of non-duality, which is the fifth dimensional consciousness. If we look at things that clearly is a sign of unawakened living, our heart can break. Because if our heart is open, it just wants to give and nurture and love. And if we do not have then discovered the spiritual meaning of existence, our limited mind will go into emotions like anger or rage or fear or desperation. It is when we can transcend the mind and still be in our human body that we can hold these dualities without judgment. If you go to the top of what we want to reach, there is nothingness. Then there is the all, the one. And from the one then there is the different aspects, the fractals, going down through the dimensions to where we are, where many do not even remember where they came from, where it is the discovery journey that they are on, the curriculum they must go through to elevate. That said, we are also in all dimensions at once, because we are everything. Now, one of the biggest motivators, if not the biggest motivator in life, is to find love, to be loved, or that is what we might think with a limited mind. But actually, love is like consciousness. It is one and the same thing. Love is a state of being. Those of you who have followed me for a while may know that I don't often talk of love. That is when something is seen. That is when it is loved. So when we talk about love, we're not talking about the interpersonal love that we think we want, but the love that we desire is to become more and more aware, because becoming more aware, becoming enlightened is becoming love. So love is a state of being, and we fall in love when we have reached fifth dimensional consciousness, which I know many of you watching are experiencing already. And if you are not, it is totally okay, because you can fluctuate on this path. You will have moments of that and moments of not being in that high vibration, but more and more you will find that you will stay in that high vibration till it becomes the frequency that you are on constantly, and then you will move even higher. Now, when you have fifth dimensional consciousness, you fall in love with everything in the universe equally. You love everything equally. You can see that this is not a human emotion. You have transcended the human part of yourself, and you are experiencing it as your spirit. That is when you are aligned with your higher self, and you will love everything equally, because love is that which is activated in you when you observe something else or somebody else. So if I look at a person and I feel the love that they generate in me, and they feel the love that I generate in them, we are in love together. The enlightened mind have that, the enlightened being have that love for everything, because you do not experience yourself as separate, because you have accepted everything of yourself. As human beings, we all experience the same emotions. We have the same desires. It might look different, but it's the same, because we are one. So how do we navigate things that can only be described as horrible, things that can be described as inhumane, things that is happening that we have no control over? We have to see it all as beautiful, not because of what we see in the material world, but because of the effect that it has, because of the emotions that it set into motion, that transform everything, like the alchemist transform that which is not pure, that which is not yet seen, into gold. The enlightened mind has deep understanding and compassion, but there is the compassion that is born from love. And the compassion is for the other. It is not something that is focused on the self. So you keep your heart open, but you observe with the higher mind, with your spirit, because the human mind can't figure this out. The human mind is the one that causes the suffering in its quest to understand. So let go. Let go of trying to figure things out or to control it. Sit with yourself, sit in meditation with the universe till you find that stillness. And this will become the place from where you look at things, from where you interact, from where you experience. So if you have become enlightened, but you only interact with the human world from the stance of, I am a spirit and nothing touches me, you will come across as cold. That is why when you are enlightened, you move from the heart, from the open heart, which has the compassion. Because the thing that happens to you is also the thing that happens to me. I am in no way better than you. I am you. Understanding this also will bring you to the understanding that you have all the answers inside of you. Because you are not separate from the superior intelligence. You are not separate from the collective mind. All you have to do is to keep on working on your alignment with yourself, with your higher self, so that you can elevate and access higher frequencies. As you access higher frequencies, you will experience more and more the connectedness of everything, of everyone. And as that happens, and the fear of separation and the experience of separation diminish, you will be able to hold the dualities without judgment. And the suffering that you had experienced when you were still controlled by the limited mind will have fallen away. And as for now, if you feel, if you know you are not there yet, you do not understand it necessarily, know that you do reside in the higher dimensions. You already have the higher consciousness. You are already there. You have never left. One of the biggest things you can do for yourself is to learn to trust yourself. I don't say you can't have teachers and guides, but even the teachers and guides from the other dimensions are all part of you. You must learn to trust yourself. Because if you trust yourself, it will be much easier to stay in alignment. It will be much easier to let go, so that you can receive in this dimension the things that you want to receive. And that is when this happens, that the things that you have experienced that were extremely difficult becomes light as light. I would love to hear your perspective in the comments. I'm looking much forward to that. I'm sending you my infinite love. Till I speak to you again in the next video. Goodbye.